Yeah. Trying to restart it all the way.
Do it all the way, man.
I did. All right, there we are. We're back. We're back.
Oh, wow. We're back, yeah.
We're back again. All right, C.J. Stroud though. We're talking about this guy.
So,
This
yeah, back to
quarterback dude has
CJ.
just been ridiculous. Like he's not throwing the ball in the bad spots. He's keeping the ball in their hands, keeping the defense off
Wait,
the field, making those
well,
quick decisions. He's
wait,
looking
wait,
good, man.
bad spots is relative word because he did throw interception this week.
Listen, man, one
Well,
interception.
well,
I mean, come on, man.
well.
Give the guy a
All I'm
break.
saying is it's his first. He does get a break. So does Brock Purdy. We give him a break because he ran up against a really good defense that he had no idea what he was running up against. His coaches didn't even have any idea what kind of defense this was. I don't think anybody recognized that. Brock Purdy threw his interception this week too. So
That is true.
it is what it is. It is what it is. It happens like that. But again, excuse me. As I said, New Orleans and Derek Carr had a shot to win this game because of bad coaching coming down the field. You could see Derek Carr when he come off the field. Him and the offensive coordinator got in a big argument.
Yeah, yeah. I
He
mean,
went
it's true.
he went after the offensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator was walking away from me. He went after the offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, there's got to be some issues right there. He did throw it to Alvin Kamara, which that's not a bad deal right there.
No,
But you
no.
don't throw it to him 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage when you got 4 yards to go. You do not do that.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
got
there
to
were
go
some interesting
forward.
calls. I'm gonna be honest. I was a little disappointed on some of the calls. There's been a lot of bad coaching lately, man. I don't understand
There
what's
has.
going on. If people are trying to make their mark and try to change things up and do it their way or something,
I don't
I'm
know,
just
man.
confused, man. I mean, like, I don't understand it. Go back to what works. Keep it at what works. Don't screw it up.
That's
Don't mess with the
you run
system.
the
If it
football.
works, you don't change it.
Yeah, that's it, man. You stick with the
So
system.
that's just how it works for
Even
me.
if you're a new coordinator coming in, that's part of the big deal. A lot of what we're seeing is new coordinators coming in and messing these offenses up. Just like in Kansas City, their offensive coordinator was in Chicago the previous 4 years, and he did nothing but run it into the football ground. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't
everybody
know.
saw that happen. I don't know why that hire happened right there, but that's why we're seeing that bad offense from Kansas City right now. That's exactly why we're seeing it. It's not like they don't
Yeah,
have the skill sets and the people in the positions to do what they need to do. Look, Travis Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes is still doing what they're doing. Other guys are
true.
still capable of getting open and catching the football, but the offensive play design behind what they have been doing for the past couple of years when they won the Super Bowls is not what this offensive coordinator is trying to make them do.
No, I mean I can agree with that. I can agree with that. There are some
I mean,
interesting things that the coaching has just become like the Vikings. The Vikings have the coaches there. I mean, it's just I don't understand them in the coaching calls. I don't know what's
yeah.
going on, and I don't know if I want to know what's going on because I'm kind of just confused and my head hurts.
Is
And
is Mike Zimmer
I don't
still the
understand it.
head coach there?
Yeah, I mean I don't
I,
know
I mean,
how. I don't know
I
why.
mean, I know he's a defensive-minded coach, but he needs to start butting in on the offensive side of the football too,
They need to figure out
because there's
something.
a reason why. There's a reason why Jefferson's hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Only throw
I
the ball
mean,
to him.
yeah, yeah. When you only run the football 10 times a game, you got a problem. You know what? You probably end up like you're 1-4. Well, now you might be 2-4, but
Yeah,
yeah, you
they're
end
two
up
and four now.
they're two
They
and
beat the
four because
Chicago
they play
Bears.
Chicago
Woohoo!
Bears. Yeah, which Justin Fields did go out of that football game,
Yeah, that is
and
true.
that's
There's
a
been
big
dude.
deal.
Talk about some
But
injuries this
Herbert,
week. Like
but
injuries.
Herbert, or yeah, injuries. A lot of big injuries this week in football. I
Jimmy
mean,
G.
you
I
had
mean,
Jimmy Garoppolo going down. Of course, we're just talking about Justin Fields. That's a
yeah,
lot of
CMC
big.
got went
That's
down.
a
And Debo Samuel.
CMC went down.
I mean, there's some
Debo
big
Samuel
guys.
gone down. There's a
Tannehill went
lot of
down
big
for the.
deal.
It's kind of crazy on what happened
Tannehill
for the
down for
quarterbacks.
Tennessee. Keep spitting
Yeah, I'm telling you, man,
more,
it's kind
man.
of crazy.
What about the linebacker? The linebacker for Buffalo.
Well, that was last week. That was last week.
Uh, well, no, that was Saturday morning.
No, that was last Saturday morning. Wake up, buddy. This Saturday morning was Baltimore,
Oh
Tennessee.
man. Oh yeah.
I'm
That's
sorry,
right.
guys. He's getting old. Just let him.
My bad. My bad. But that's a big injury too. That's a big
No,
injury too. If we
you're right.
hadn't,
That is a big
anyway,
injury. That is a big injury. But we talked about that last week. We talked
we
about
did
that
talk
already.
about that. My bad, Jack. But
It's okay.
anyways,
I'll
there.
forgive you.
Yeah, I mean, you
getting
talk
older.
about injuries, but let's talk about Cincinnati and Seattle. That was not nowhere close to the scoring we thought was going to happen.
No, I mean those defenses kind of control each other. I didn't get to watch any of the game. I don't know. Maybe there was bad weather or what was going on. But it looked like
Well,
a very sloppy kind of game, honestly. I mean, it seemed like Jamar Chase didn't get very much going, and so Joe
no.
Burrow didn't
Well,
get much going.
precipitation. Just like the Cleveland game, precipitation was a little bit had to Cleveland, Cincinnati, they're close proximity, so that makes sense that that is a large part of the reason why it was a lower scoring game, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot. These teams really they were playing their man to man defenses, and when Seattle went to their zone, it was a really hard deal for them to throw the football. It really was. It was a lot of drop footballs in that game. There wasn't a lot of. It was only averaging 3 yards a pop when it came to running backs. So it was really big plays at good times.
Hey, I mean, your team still came out with the win, so you got to give them some kind of credit, right?
Well, hey, W's. That's the only thing
You
that
got to
we're.
give them some kind of credit.
One of the big positives I saw in it, it wasn't a lot of, like I said, a lot of precipitation in the game. One of the big positives I saw from it, everybody says that Joe Burrow's calf, they're still worried. I'm not worried about it. I watched him run 15, 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage back and forth, getting away from these defenders, trying to find somebody to throw the football to, and he was just fine. He didn't pull up at the end of the play, nothing like that. So Joe Burrow is 100% back. There's no question about it.
Okay. Hey, man, they're winning games. That's all that matters, right?
That's
Hey,
all
we
that
got to talk
matters.
about another
That's
game,
all that matters.
So the Jacksonville Jaguars are coming back strong, it seems like. Back from their hometown, you know what I mean? Now they're winning games. Is that
They're
what they
winning
need,
games.
just to go to London and come back, it seems like? You know what I mean? They beat the Colts
Hey,
37-20 pretty handily.
you know what? And that's a big statement inside the division because they've already won 3 division games already.
That's
That's
true.
huge. That's huge for them right now inside of the division. That gives them a big leg up, and they are starting to play like those Jacksonville Jaguars we expected
We
to see at the
expected,
beginning
yeah.
of They
Not with
started
a
a little
horrible
bit
team.
later. They started a little bit later than we thought, but I would really like to see them play a little bit better defenses, a little bit better teams. I would like to see them play with less turnovers. They still had a lot of turnovers in this game.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence seems to be trying to force balls and doing some
Yeah.
weird things, and but hey, they came out with the win. Jonathan Taylor came back. He didn't look great running the ball. Neither did
Zach Moss
and
did.
No, they
He
really did.
scored.
Not running the ball. Not running the ball. They
Well,
didn't look the
no.
greatest. But receiving wise, they were getting good receptions. We'll see how that works out. In that two-headed backfield. But moving on, we're moving on to the next game. We're moving on to another game. Well, we got to talk about Bill Belichick.
Oh yeah.
The Pats lose to the Raiders without Jimmy Garoppolo. What do you think about this, man?
Who came in? Brian Hoyer? Was that Brian Hoyer or O'Connell?
Oh no, it was Brian Hoyer. Yeah, Brian Hoyer went for 6
Yeah.
for 10.
Yeah, say Brian Hoyer come in. Josh Jacobs no doubtedly had a big part to do with this football game. Bill Belichick, just like we had talked about previously going into this weekend in our picks, that we were taking Las Vegas to win this football game for that reason right there.
Yeah.
That New England Patriots didn't have the identity that Bill Belichick has put in his plate the last few years, the last couple decades, his Super Bowl. That legacy is gone. It's over with. Now the NFL has opened up a little bit. These guys are getting better everywhere, and they're going.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think Belichick has got to make some moves. He's made the wrong moves in the past. He hasn't really stacked their farm system per se.
Okay.
The practice squads and everything else, and they've run out a lot of talent. They really have.
All
and
right. So
this
now,
is
You're
That's the
throwing all this
product we're
stuff out
gonna
there.
see.
You know what question's coming. You know what question is coming, sir.
Okay.
If Bill Belichick doesn't turn this around this year, does he get fired?
I think he doesn't get fired. I think it comes out as an announcement that he is that he
Wow,
is
so you're saying that he's
retiring.
retiring?
I will say
Wow.
I will say that because Robert Kraft is going to give him that option. Look,
Okay.
you want to stay on the staff, you hire another head coach to come in and you work under him, or you announce your retirement because if not, I'm going to fire you.
Okay. Hey, man, I like the call. I think they're going to
I
give him
think,
one more year no matter what.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I kind of agree with how that's going to go down too. I agree with that. I like that. I like
Now,
the way you put that.
whether or not that happens at the end of this year, to answer your question, I don't know. Maybe one more year, they might give him a little bit more time, or that might happen in the off season. Who knows?
You never know. I mean, it's
If
coming
it
though.
gets
I feel like
bad
it's
enough,
coming. I'm just saying.
if it gets bad enough this season, it could happen in the off season.
Okay. Okay. I like that comment. I like it. I like it. All right. So let's see. We talked about that game. We talked about this game. Is there any other games we really didn't talk about? Let's see.
Do we? Not really.
We don't really
Do we
need to talk
talk?
about the Rams Cardinals. We don't need to talk about that game. Oh, there's one big game we missed.
Which one's that?
The other undefeated team going down.
Oh yeah, no,
Jalen
Eagles.
Hurts
Yeah, we got
losing. How do we not talk
Jalen
about
Hurts.
the Jets defense?
Jalen Hurts and the Jets defense. That's another defense that has seen some of the league's best quarterbacks thus far this season.
And doing
Marshentime.
well.
They are doing well. They are in your division, and that has got to be scary. That has
Dude,
got
I
to be
mean-
scary for you because you know why? Here's the scary part: Aaron Rodgers is out on the field throwing the football. That
Aaron
was the
Rodgers is not
scary
coming
part.
back.
That was the scary
He's
part.
done
If
for
they
the
could
year.
stay in playoff contentions, he might be in the playoffs, man. He
Yeah,
might
he
be
ain't
in the
coming back.
playoffs.
Listen,
That's
man,
scary,
they're still
dude.
3-3. They're 3-3. Let's calm down here.
They are.
Let's
They
calm
are.
down.
But
And to be
hey,
fair,
that's
Philadelphia had yet to play anybody halfway
And-
decent, and they struggled almost every single week.
yeah,
Jalen
we
Hurts
talked
doesn't look
about
like
that.
Jalen Hurts.
We
He
talked
threw
about
for
that.
280 yards, but he threw for 3 interceptions.
Yeah,
3.
You're right when we say that. We
I
talked
mean, I'm
about
just
this
saying.
Marshentime before. Remember when I said that I believe in the Eagles. I believe they'll get it right. I believe they're on the right track to get it right, but they still have a lot of bumps to hit in the road, and they still look like they're going through a lot of bumps in the road early on in the season. So the wins that they were getting, they were not good quality wins. I support you
Not
when
at
you
all.
say that. Yeah.
Listen, I'm just looking at this. Their leading rusher was Jalen Hurts. Their next,
Yeah.
he went 8 for 47. Their next best rusher was DeAndre Swift, who had 10 carries for 18 yards.
Yeah. The New York Jets were really tough in that box this weekend. They were
Now-
were going heavy in the box, and without Sauce Gardner or DJ said,
Listen,
DJ
man,
Reed and Sauce
here's-
Gardner both were out for that secondary.
Here's the
man.
problem,
That's
though.
huge. That's called good coaching. Cleveland,
the problem
New York
for-
Jets. That's called good coaching.
There's one problem for the Jets, and this is why I'm not worried about the Jets. Zach Wilson went 19 for 33 and had 186 yards. That's
Well,
it.
you know what you're getting when it comes to Zach Wilson. There's no
That's-
difference with that.
That's ridiculous, man. I mean, I'm sorry.
it's-
There's got to be somebody else that they can go find. and
Zach
pull in.
Wilson, PJ Walker, it doesn't matter who they. I mean, it's good
I
coaching.
mean, yeah, 2
behind-
backup quarterbacks and 1.
It takes
against
it takes
undefeated teams, man.
one hell of a coaching staff, Marshentime. Admit that it takes one really good coaching staff to pull that off with those
Hey.
kind of quarterbacks. That defensive coordinator, that head coach, they get really good kudos from me. But both Cleveland Browns and I'm not a huge Cleveland Brown fan. I'm a Cincinnati, but I had no faith in them even hanging around in this game.
No,
I
I thought they were
this
going to
game
get destroyed.
before this game went off, and as soon as CMC scored that touchdown, I text you. I said, "Dude, I can't. Oh man, I can't watch this. These guys are horrible. This is not going." And look, they turned around and won this freaking football game.
You did.
So kudos.
I started laughing about that too at the end of the game. I'm like, well,
Ah,
That ended
Oh,
badly
man,
for him.
so a hell of a coaching game for both squads there, man. I'll give them that. So let's talk about the game tonight, though.
Yeah, let's talk about it, man.
Let's
Austin
talk
Eckler's
about the
coming
Los
back, man.
Angeles Chargers. Yeah, Austin
Austin
Eckler
Eckler's
is going to
playing,
be
so
playing tonight. This is going to be a heck of a football game. Are we going to get that defense from Dallas that we think we're going to get, or we hope we're going to get, or are we going to
yeah,
get that, or are we going to get that playoff
offense.
football?
Listen,
Playoff football
are we
defense
getting
for
Dallas's
Dallas.
defense from San Fran, or are we getting Dallas's defense from the New York Giants?
Yeah,
What Dallas
right.
defense are we getting? I don't know if it matters. That offense for the Chargers is pretty good with Austin Eckler coming back, man. Keenan
They
Allen's
are.
going to have a big game. I'm telling you, we need him to have a big game for our fantasy team to win this week. Keenan Allen's going to have a big game. He's going to have a touchdown, about a $120 with like 8 receptions. Chargers
goes
win this
back
game
to-
because Austin
Yeah.
Eckler comes back.
That goes back to what I said last week. You know, when you asked me significant injuries throughout the league, what was the biggest so far that I thought was biggest, and I thought it was Trevon Diggs for the Dallas Cowboys. If
That
you
is
remember
true.
what I said,
Yeah.
Keenan Allen is going to prove that tonight. He is going to prove that tonight because he's not going to line up on one side of the ball. He's going to line up in the line up outside. He's going to move around, and they don't have a guy that can move around
No.
with a guy like that.
They don't have a guy
and
that
he's
can guard
going to. He might go for 200 tonight.
Let's hope so, man. We need it. We need it. You know,
He
we
might
kinda
go
started
for
something.
200. Austin Eckler might have 5 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown. Carries for 75 yards and a touchdown. But Keenan Allen's really going to shred it up out there, especially if Dallas can get any kind of offensive generated and make a game out of this. I want to see that. I really want to see
Yeah,
that.
I would love a high scoring game here.
I
You
would
know,
I
there
would
really
like to
wasn't-
see this.
There wasn't a high scoring game this week in NFL.
No, there really
You know,
wasn't.
so-
That
I would be excited.
No.
I'm ready to see a high scoring game, buddy. I'm ready. But I'm excited.
You
for
see
it.
high-
I'm excited for this game.
you see. You want to see high scoring, man? You flash over to college football and look what those Washington Huskies and those Oregon Ducks were doing.
Yes, sir. That was a hell of a game. That was a hell
What
of
a game! Bo Nix, and what you call it for
Yeah,
Washington?
Patriots.
Wow, Patriots,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow,
Insane,
dude, what
man. I
a
loved watching that
football game! That
It was
was
great.
one of the best we've seen all year. All year. Not only that one, but the one we had Friday night too with the Cardinals in Colorado. They were a pretty good football game too.
Yeah, what was it? 29-0?
It was 20 no 29-0 and and the Sanford Cardinals come back. They ran that down and won the game by 3.
Listen, man, you had all this, big talk about how Colorado was a good team. I told you they weren't a good team, man. I told you.
Hey,
You kept
Hey.
putting it out there, man. I kept telling you they're not a good team. All they are is a showboat team who, they're overrated. I'm sorry. They're overrated. I'm sorry. Deion Sanders is not a good coach. The only reason he
Listen,
looks good is because he has the swag and everything to bring players that are decent to him. That's the only reason.
I never touted that they were this big good team. I said they were this very big popular team. That's what I said.
Yeah, no. I
Their
don't think so,
quarterback
but
now
when
first
they
of all,
beat
no, I
TCU,
do.
You were all in.
I do.
You were all in.
No. You go back and look at those tapes, my brother. But if you look at what their quarterback has done over the course of these first 4 games, he's number 7 in the country in quarterback, so you can't really take that away from him.
Listen,
I
man,
mean,
they didn't play
they have the
anybody.
players.
When he had a big game, they didn't play anybody, though.
Listen, I said through the games he's already played, he's still there. That means he's played somebody. He's played and lost those games. He was in a shootout with a really good team with like USC. I mean,
Who
we'll
doesn't
talk
have a
about
defense
their
who just got absolutely massacred by a team who's lost 2 games. Don't give me USC's a good team. They're not. I'm sorry. They're overrated.
Well, they
man.
can't be. You're right. They can't be if they lost to Notre Dame because Notre Dame lost to Louisville. So I mean,
Notre
they
Dame's
can't be
lost
that
2
freaking
games,
good,
man.
right?
They lost to Ohio
Yeah.
State and Louisville.
Well,
man.
they lost to Ohio State, and we've yet to see what Ohio State's really about after Notre Dame lost to Louisville, so that's kind of confusing there. So we don't know if Louisville's really good or if
I
Ohio
mean,
State's really
They
good
are 6-0.
or if Notre Dame's really good and they've gotten beat by two really better teams. So that's the good thing about college football. We will see that because both schedules line up for both Louisville being in the ACC and Ohio State being in the Big Ten. They still got to play Michigan. They got to play Penn State this week coming up.
Yeah,
so
Penn State this
they
week's
can't
gonna be
get
good.
around that. They can't get around that. Those are really big games, really big matchups, and not only that, the Big Ten championship they got to play, ACC championship. You know, if Louisville wants to be a part of that,
Yeah.
they'll keep busting some ass too. So we'll see what happens.
Listen, man,
We'll
the
see how that
ACC's
really
looking
breaks
really
down.
strong right now. I'm gonna be honest, man.
And
ACC's
I'll tell you
looking back.
this. Marshentime, I'll give you kudos when you said that. You said Notre Dame you thought was pretty easily going to handle USC going into this football game. You
I mean,
did say
I
that.
remember
You
saying,
did.
you know,
You did say that. You said that. But
I said their
did you
defense,
pick
man.
Oregon or Washington Huskies to win that game? Because I mean, I can't really
don't
fault you if
remember.
you went either. I can't remember neither.
I don't think we decided.
I
I don't
took-
think we picked. I don't think we picked that game. I think we were just kind of like talking about how excited we were for the game. I don't
Well,
think
you know how
could've
we
picked
do
the
our-
team. Picking those two teams are crazy hard to pick. Like I wouldn't have.
I
Picked,
think we did
couldn't-
talk
okay,
about
I
it.
I know we talked about
I
it.
think
We definitely talked about the
I,
game. but don't
I
know
think
if
we
ever
picked
chose.
one too, but when I looked at my ESPN, you know how we do our pigskin pick 'em on ESPN.
course.
I do my college football on there too, and I took Washington on there. So I don't know why I would have said Oregon and went Washington with you, but that's a really very hard game to pick, anyways. But that's not the last we're going to see at Oregon. Just put
Oh,
it that way.
definitely
That's not the
Definitely
last
not.
we're
They're
going to
coming-
see
They're
with
coming
Oregon.
strong, man. They're a good team.
They'll come back a lot stronger. And Caleb Williams, he could shoot his shot at the high school or that not the high school, but the Heisman. That just went down the toilet this last week.
Yeah, it
After
didn't look
those
very
three interceptions, no.
Didn't look very good.
that-
Listen,
oh,
man,
we're
you know, you talk about that. Name an underdog right now you see as a Heisman Trophy candidate that you know people aren't really they can be talking about, but they're not really talking about.
well. I
Where
would
do you
have
go
to
to?
say Jordan. I would have to say Jordan Travis. And nobody's talking
Really?
about him.
They're really not.
He doesn't. He doesn't have the numbers, but he's about to why he's going to be considered. Or not of his schedule, he's got going to have to run through in these next 3 weeks. He's not making bad decisions. He is getting hurt because he's hanging on to the football too long. He's taking too many shots, but he is winning football games with his legs and on the run, moving and throwing the football. He doesn't have the gaudy numbers. He's probably number 15 or 16 in the nation when it comes to numbers, but the pass to interception ratio is not that bad. If we don't talk about Jordan Travis for FSU, that's another undefeated team. Another big name is one we just talked about was Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix for Oregon. He's a really
Listen,
good
man,
quarterback.
He laid
man.
it all out on the line this week, and he laid it all out on the line. He did everything he could to win that game. You know, Oregon's defense just wasn't up to par like I thought they were going to be too. You know, I thought there was going to be a lot closer defensive battle than but they did not show off.
You got to say Bo Nix he belongs in that
100%
topic. I take Shador Sanders out of that. I don't talk about him right now when it talks about Heisman because I throw Washington's quarterback in there also. When we're talking about quarterbacks, you got to go to another SEC quarterback, and that's the one for Georgia. I mean, he's going to be on that national stage. He's got to be quarterback attentive, wordly. He doesn't play a hard schedule, but we're going to hear about. We're going to hear about him because of the team he's on.
Okay. I like it. Hey, man, was there any other college football games you want? North Carolina's looking strong, too, man. I'm going to be honest.
North Carolina looked really, really good. Indecisively good.
Yeah. They made Miami look pretty bad.
Michigan did what they were supposed to. Ohio State did what they were supposed to do. Pretty much everyone around the country did. Alabama got by with a close one this past weekend. That was a very, very close one. They got a 6-point win over Arkansas. So that was a hard fought battle. But Alabama's still going to be in the said SEC team, still going to be in the talk when it comes down to the end of the season. Other than that, no, there's not really another big college football game I want to talk about.
All right. So hey, I'm going to move on to another sport now.
Okay.
We talked. You brought me into this, so now we got to talk about it. We got to talk about the WNBA, man. Liberty got their first game, yesterday. They took their first game. It's 2-1, man.
You saw the MVP act like the MVP, didn't you?
Yeah, she went off. I mean, she was hitting from
Bree Stewart.
Man.
Yeah, Bree Stewart she's got mad handles, and she was playing. They're down 2-0, and they come back home. Hey, she was playing, for lack of better words, pissed off, man. She was showing why. She got a bit of motivation. I don't know what it was. She started feeling good about the kind of mojo she was drinking when she got back to New York, and bam!
Yeah,
that's the New York Liberty.
She had 13 rebounds, 20 points. I mean, 3 blocks. It was oh my God. This girl's going off.
She come out of nowhere. Yeah, she come out of nowhere. And now this is a series. I hope they come back and they take number 2 also, or at home, make it a 2-2 series in game number 4, and they take that one too, because that will turn this series into what I thought it was going to be, and not just a blowout by the Aces. I really hope that happens.
Okay. I like it, man. Hey.
And Quincy Jones, she played pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean, not too shabby. Not too shabby.
I mean, she played like her ex-MVP status too.
Yeah, her ex-MVP status. Yeah, that's true. Ex-MVP. I like it. All right, we're moving on to baseball a little bit, though. The Rangers, man. The Rangers looking pretty strong.
Rangers looking good,
Up 2-0.
Hey, well, in the series right now.
They're up 2-0 in the series, man.
Right, and nobody expect them to come back like that. But let me point out to you, Marshentime, you pointed this out when the whole playoff started. Momentum. What was one of the teams that had the momentum coming into the end of the season? Not only did they have the momentum of putting Seattle out of this, but they also had a momentum of climbing in, getting themselves a wild card, sweeping the Baltimore Orioles. That don't give you momentum to go on and snag 2 from the reigning Houston Astros World Series champion. That I don't know what will.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they're looking strong.
Momentum, I account that to the biggest deal, like you said, momentum. Kudos to you. That is the biggest momentum grabber right now. To me, this might switch the momentum from me racing on the Arizona side and thinking the National League can snag a World Series, but the American League's, been winning them for the last couple of years. I think that right now Texas is the team to watch. They are the team to watch.
Really? Okay. Team to watch. I like it, man.
It's either that or that momentum is going to be so powerful it's going to wear them out.
Listen, man, they're 2-0. I'm just saying, it's kind of strong. But
That's
Arizona, Philly's starting off right now, so we'll see who comes off with that team. That's going to be an interesting series. I'm kind of excited about this series. I'm going to be honest. I'm excited.
Philly they have been exciting, and you're talking about momentum. We're talking about momentum. These teams. Man, this might be like the World Series that we want to see right here. This might be.
Teams coming in.
This is like a big storm cloud floating over the eastern and midwestern part of the United States. Just kaboom! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lightning coming out of those clouds over these stadiums, man. This might be the deal because Bryce Harper is exciting. He's been in these playoffs. They have been exciting as Arizona and Corbin has been in these with Evan Longoria coming back and rejuvenating his playoff form, and this is a big deal. This is a big deal.
I'm excited about football. I'm excited about baseball. I'm excited about WNBA. The NBA starting up. Man, sports it's hot right now. It's awesome. It's fun to watch. And listen, man, there's another thing. We're in Okeechobee. We're, Lake Okeechobee. It's starting to get a little off. That means the specs are going to start biting. That means
They're going to
the bass are
start
going to start going there.
biting.
And it's going to be some fun times, man. Fishing's going to start, heating up. I think it's about time we're going to do a, on the water podcast pretty soon, buddy.
Hey, Marshentime, are you and I going to go catch some speck together? Are we going to go catch some crappie together
man. We're gonna have
on the
I'm
water,
telling you, man.
live on the water, dude? Are we going to go do
have
that?
to one of these days, man. I mean, I'm telling you,
Dude, that's got to happen sometime in late December, early January, somewhere around that time, right?
Oh, well, hey,
Maybe
man,
late.
catching them now.
Maybe late November here in the next
maybe,
month or so.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see how
okay.
it goes. I mean, they're catching them now.
If they're catching them now, we might go on the water this weekend, man. Check it out this weekend.
Listen, I'm ready to go in the water anytime. I just want to go in the water.
That's pretty good stuff, dude. This game tonight, though, like as we was talking about, man, this game tonight with Dallas and the Chargers, I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to turn it on the
I'm ready
tube.
for this, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be interesting.
I hope it's the game.
Hopes.
We deserve a good Monday night game. We really do.
We really do, because I think next week's is not the greatest.
It's not. It's
Sure
really
next
not.
week is,
And these primetime games haven't really been, just like last night with Buffalo and New York Giants. Oh my God, who wanted to watch that? I'm a big running back fan.
It turned out a good game, but yeah.
I know. I'm a big running back fan, so it was good to see Saquon Barkley come back and get a good few dashes in. That was good to watch. I really enjoyed watching that Saquon Barkley get back on track because I appreciate the running backs now in today's league, thanks to you.
Got you, buddy. I got you, man. Don't you worry. Yeah, next week is Ooh, yeah, we're not gonna have fun next week. I'm gonna be honest.
Who is
not
it?
Looking good.
Arizona and Denver.
It's 49ers and the Vikings.
Oh, we might get a shootout.
I doubt it. We've seen how they're just going to let the ball in. Well, it depends on, if CMC comes back. But hey, Sunday night, man. Sunday night is going to be a huge game. The Miami Dolphins versus the Philadelphia Eagles. 2 5-1 teams going at each other. Sunday night, buddy. Sunday night's going to be huge. I'm ready for that one, man.
And back live, Marshentime, Donnie Mac, Sunday night football, baby.
I'm excited, man. I'm ready for that one. Oh.
Catch us Sunday night right before that game. We'll be hyped up, ready to watch that one. Marshentime's a big Dolphin fan. He's a big Dolphins fan. I got a cousin that's a big Eagles fan too, so he'll enjoy that pretty much too. We're going to start 2 in that game though, right? Depends on who Lamar Jackson's playing. You said we need about 18 points from Jared Allen tonight?
Yeah, we need 18 points from Keenan Allen right now.
Keenan Allen, my bad.
We kind of struggled a little bit, and our tight ends are killing us, man. I'm telling you, our tight I just don't know what to do about our tight ends. But Christian McCaffrey getting hurt, only got his 14, so it was a little bit skewed and everything. Lamar got a 17. We probably should have started 2. He had 23. But it's all right. It happens. Little things here and there will make difference. Exactly. But Keenan Allen will get us our points, and we'll win the game. We'll win this week.
That's all right. I like your optimism there. I really want to go pick up that boy from New Orleans, Hill, that tight end, because he had about 11 or 14 points this week, and I just have a feeling about them that they're going to get rolling a little bit better with him in that offense because they realize he's a better talent, and they're going to start getting him the ball. I think he's going to get a little bit better scoring, more than our 3 and 4 we've been getting. I just think he's going to get 9 or 10.
3 or 4. We've gotten 1 in the past 3 weeks.
I think he's going to start consistently getting between that 8 and 10 mark, though.
Hey, I just want to point out, Keenan Allen has 2 receptions for 1 yard and 1 touchdown.
Oh!
So we're looking good right now.
Excuse me.
2 receptions for 1 yard and 1 touchdown. We got 8 points.
God,
we need 10 more.
All right, Marshentime, man. Anything else you want to talk about in this sports? I think we've kept these people around here long enough. Anything else?
Job,
anything else you're thinking about? What's in your mind?
Good, man.
What? That let me ask you this before we go though. The
Okay,
biggest take
okay.
from you. I want the biggest take from you from college football, number one, and professional football, number two. I want your biggest take from both of these football resumes. The biggest take, I mean, the most significant thing that you saw happen that could change the course of this season or the outlook of people's vision of this season.
Mm, man, you're talking. Listen, I think the biggest thing that happened in the college football was Notre Dame putting it to USC. Everybody thought USC was going to be this great team and going to go into the college football playoffs and do something. Notre Dame just showed up and they said, "No, you're not." And it's a rivalry game. I think USC came in there thinking that Notre Dame's not
It
that
is a
good.
rivalry.
It's a rivalry game. You
It's a
always go in
rivalry
there
game.
full power with rivalry games, man. I think that's what
You
I'm
know,
excited about. I'm excited to see more rivalry games coming up soon. So rivalry games are always the coolest thing in college football to me.
to back you up when you say that USC hasn't won in Notre Dame since 2011. And I think it's five
That's
or six
huge.
or
Yeah.
seven, something like that straight games. They have not beat Notre Dame,
Okay, okay.
especially in South Bend, Indiana.
Listen, now NFL, we're talking, some crazy things. The biggest thing that stand out to me is the coaching. What is going on with the coaching? I'm sorry, man. This league is going too pass friendly, pass heavy, with teams that shouldn't be pass heavy, and that's what's throwing me off. We got to
Yeah.
figure out a teams that need to run the ball. If you have players like King Henry and players like that, give them the ball. I'm telling you, I'm over it. Give them the ball. I want to watch them run the ball. They're freaking beasts. Hand them the ball. That's it. That's all I gotta
That's
say.
true.
That's all I gotta say.
That's You know what, and I agree with you that when it comes to coaching, because we've seen a lot of questionable coaching calls here, and I think part of that Tyrod Taylor deal at the end of that game was part of that fucking head coach deal too. I mean, you got a green quarterback. You have to emphasize before you even start taking place in this drive at the end of this quarter that you have no more timeouts. You
Yeah,
cannot run the football. You
I agree.
cannot run the football. You emphasize that. I mean, don't let him look out there. I mean, come on, guys.
Hey man, sign us off, Donnie Mac. Sign us off.
All right. All right, guys. Until next time, this is 863 Sports Buzz Podcast. I'm Donnie Mac. That's Marshentime. Until next time, knuckleheads.